Hello everyone, and welcome back to FTLG X McCrathon for the Love of the 90s Marathon. We just had a Mega Man, so I think it's time we turn to another mascot platformer. Could this be the best mascot? Is there a better mascot platformer than Sonic the Hedgehog? I just can't think of any of them. It must be Sonic. And here to run Sonic the Hedgehog 1 Beat the Game Glitchless, it's SuperSonic. Take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Nick. Hello, everybody. My name is SuperSonic, and I will be bringing you both Sonic 1 Glitchless and Sonic 2 Glitchless. Ironically, I am playing on the same cartridge for both games, so it'll be a quick switcheroo right after I'm done with the first run. So in the meantime, we're going to go into Sonic 1, and I'll get the countdown for you. We will go in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Hope you like Green Hill, by the way. So this is the iconic first zone of Sonic 1. This is where he got its start. And now, just recently, Sonic Frontiers came out, so pretty fitting that we start with the first game here, especially from the 90s. So, as far as Sonic 1 goes, there is a speed cap, so this is like our max speed right now, unless we hit a spring. But if we end up pushing either direction, like left or right, after hitting the spring, it will bring our speed cap down to the speed that we just seen. There's no spin dashing in this game, so we will be utilizing rolling, mostly down slopes and such. And as far as Act 2 goes, you kind of notice that I do a little bit of a left-right there. That's to get my momentum going. And then I'm just going to roll right into this wall, grab these speed shoes. I'm going to take this top route here. We can also go the bottom route to save 1 second in-game time, but it's not really worth it in a marathon setting, and plus a lot of things can happen too, so. So as you can see here, after each stage we see a time bonus. In regular runs of this, we time it by in-game time. But for this purpose, we're doing that RTA style, so we don't have to worry about that. But anytime we finish the stage under 30 seconds, it'll give us 50,000 points. And then it'll give us like 10,000, 5,000, 4,000, so on and so forth, depending on the time we finish the stage. Now for Green Hill 3, we're going to attempt to take this top route here. It is pretty cool, but it's also a lot quicker as well if we can get this right. This first bounce, that one's good. Okay, we should be fine. And just like that, we landed on Robotnik right as he spawns to get 7 quick hits in there, and then we just jump on to get the 8th one. Did you get a 32 here? Yeah. So that is Green Hill. So we took that top route there. It saves roughly about 3 to 4 seconds depending, compared to the bottom route. And on to Marble Zone. Okay, so for Marble Zone, there's going to be a lot of damage boosting, since we will not be doing any sort of level wraps or zips and clips or any of that nature. So it's just strictly platforming, movement, and execution. Gonna go through here to catch our first cycle here. And we're going to be taking 2 damage boosts in this stage. Hence we got the shield here. Okay, just gonna let this go down, then we can just roll right underneath it. That's a very forgiving hitbox for that one. So we just take 1 damage on the lava here, and then we're gonna take another boost on these spikes to get up on this ledge to catch this cycle. Okay, so we should finish in about 53 or 54. That's a 53. If we didn't catch that first cycle there, we would end up finishing this stage in about a 59. So it's a roughly 6 second cycle. But usually it could be pretty lenient. There's actually a faster cycle than that, but it requires some precision for some of the skips that we need to do. Not like zips and all that, but just kind of skipping through a cycle. So we accidentally bonked there. This could pretty much ruin our global cycles that we have coming up for our platform, but it should be okay though. Take that intentional hit to take us to the right side. Okay, we actually landed on all those platforms. Normally I would take a damage boost into the lava there, but thankfully those platforms were actually lined up properly. And I was just gonna mosey on over here. Watch out for these. I think they're called, I don't know what they're called exactly. I usually like to call them lava bubbles or potoboos, even though they're from Mario. Which ironically, I am a Mario runner too, so. Then I'm gonna take this invincibility. It looks like we should have gotten hit by that lava shower, but that's because its hitbox is directly in the middle. So we're able to kind of bypass that just a tiny bit. 101, that's not too bad for Marble 2. Okay, so for Marble 3, we're going to have the boss fight coming up in roughly a minute or so change. So just a lot of movement. Gonna grab these rings, see if we can just get through this corridor here. Just do tiny jumps to pretty much jump underneath those falling blocks there and keep our momentum going. Doesn't really cost much time, so it's mostly for swag, I guess. But so now we have this little auto scroller here. Just gotta wait for it until lava shoots us upward. Gonna stand on the left side of this block here. And we're gonna see if we can either avoid the spikes or just take a damage boost. Okay, we take a damage boost, that's fine. As long as we grab a ring, we should be okay for this next section here. And potentially take damage here, and as long as we have good horizontal momentum, we won't get crushed underneath that spike chandelier. Gotta watch out for these bats though, they can be kind of finicky. Alright, now we got the boss fight coming up here. Get the third hit here, then we should be able to finish him off, and then we'll... Yeah, there we go, that's fine. Should be a 120, I think. No, 19. That's even better. Normally, I would average anywhere between 116 to 120, so this is a pretty solid stage overall. Okay, so we're done with Marble Zone. Now we got Spring Yard coming up. So Act 1, if done correctly, this should be done in about 25 seconds or so. As I say that, I messed up. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but that's okay. We should still be able to finish this in a pretty reasonable time. As long as we carry these speeches. Just gonna... Oh, bonked onto that, unfortunately. That's okay. Ah, those spike balls. Gotta watch out for Randy there. We call the blue guys Randy and Orton because they hit you out of nowhere. Bit of a wrestling reference there. Those are just like blue rollers. So unfortunately, we finished with a 34 because I had to say something by saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna finish the stage in 25 seconds," but things happen. All right, so now for the beginning of Spring Yard 2, we jumped into the spring because subpixels can be a thing. So if I didn't do that, it would actually bounce me backward instead of above the bumper. So I'm just gonna take this way. And Randy and Orton are going to try to go after us again, but we are going to intentionally right here just to kind of make them stop. And then we'll just kind of roll through here. So I think this is the only stage where it has 2 signposts. We took the top one because it's actually faster. You could go on the bottom one too. It probably loses about maybe 1 second. Or half second to 1 second, somewhere around there. Alright, now Spring Yard 3, we kind of go left a little bit because we're going to hit this ring box and just kind of bypass everything else. It is actually possible to go above that, that spinning spike chain there. But sometimes, again, subpixels can be a factor as well. It can just stop us in our tracks. But not too much of a big deal though, because we have to wait for the platforms anyway. So now we take this top route, we go on top of that triangle sandwich there that I like to call it. And usually the top route would be the quicker route in Sonic games. Let's see if we can get this swoosh here. Alright, very good. We didn't have to go down the half pipe, so that saves about a couple seconds. I didn't get the bounce off the spring though, but that's okay. So now we're going to be approaching the boss fight for this one. A pretty good cycle for those stairs. Seven and 8. It didn't go very far. Alright, 105 is good. So we are already 3 zones down. We got 3 more to go. We're pretty much halfway through the game already. So. Okay, now we got the water level labyrinth zone. This can be pretty treacherous at times, but we'll see how it plays out for us. Okay, so Sonic just sinks completely down to the ground in water. He cannot swim. And he also has a timer as well until he drowns, so if anybody gets freaked out about the drowning music, I apologize in advance. We will be hearing that. But we won't be hearing it in this stage. We'll hear it in Act 2 and 3, so just a heads up. Alright, so we take this top route here. This is actually the faster route. If you take the bottom route, it's about 2 minutes slower, so this top route is a lot faster. Like, quite a bit. Alrighty. Now we got Labyrinth 2 coming up. This one can be either a pretty solid stage or a pretty terrible stage. It could go either way. And of course we always jump at the start there just to get our momentum going, as well as doing the left-right motion. But a lot of times you don't have to do that, but it does help out quite a bit just to get your momentum going. Now we got the early cycle there, so those spinning ball and chains won't hit us. Okay, it is actually possible to bonk underneath that platform that's above me. Saves about a second. We're gonna grab this invincibility. We're gonna try to carry this all the way towards the final Orbinaut. The Orbinauts are these guys right here. There's gonna be like another one towards the end of this section, and we should be able to get past it. Oh, that might be kind of close. Nope. Little bonk kind of cost it a little bit. No problem though. We should be able to climb up here. And we're out of the water. So yeah, that's only a taste of the drowning music. I'm gonna try to go for a strat called Bubbleless, but if I mess up anywhere, we'll bail. But I want to try it at least once. Okay, so what we're gonna do is gonna grab these rings. And if my movement is good enough here, please jump up here. No, okay, I have to bail on it, unfortunately. I didn't want to land on that step there. You want to be right next to it, and you'll be able to carry out this entire section without having to grab a bubble. We're gonna have to wait for a bubble here. There we go. So yeah, we would have to get through this section here without grabbing a bubble. It is actually a pretty tight window as well. You pretty much get out of the water with like 1 or 2 frames to spare. Now we gotta do this climb here. We're gonna go after Robotnik again, but he's gonna try to fly away from us. But we're gonna try to get above him if we can. So by getting on top of him here, we can actually get through this section more quickly. Because if we end up being underneath him, then it'll be a lot slower. So there we go. Stage done. At least we got the boss skip, so that's pretty cool. So 4 zones down. Now we got Starlight coming up, which is pretty much the calm before the storm. So the first 2 levels of Starlight are fairly quick. Before jinxing myself. Let's see if we just get through this part smoothly here. Okay, so we just take this top route again. So that's pretty much the theme about Sonic 1. Taking the top route is the faster route. And sometimes other games will have like the bottom route being faster and whatnot. I almost hit that Orbinaut there, but Luckily, I knew where it was. So. 26, not bad. You can pretty much get like a 25 here. Although I think the optimal time is, I believe, 23. But there has to be some shenanigans in order to do that, like, without having to clip anything. Now we got Starlight 2. We're gonna jump into the spring, just like in Springer 2. Okay, just get over these guys. Sometimes that second Orbinaut can hit you, because it could spawn a little lower, just by a couple pixels, but not. Thankfully it wasn't. I'm gonna take this bottom route this time. Gonna go down here. And then it's gonna take us to the end of the level fairly quickly here. There we go. Okay, for Starlight 3, I'm gonna attempt a jump at the beginning here. It's double frame perfect. So there's like 2 frame perfect jumps that I gotta do, but it may not look like it's 2 jumps, but we'll see if we can get it. Yep, we got it. So we actually skipped a good chunk down there. Otherwise, it would be like 9 seconds slower. Now we're going to go down this corridor. Grab this invincibility. And we're going to carry this to the boss fight. That jump that I did in the beginning is pretty hard to do. But it does save a good amount of time. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. We got like a good amount of hits there. And then my invincibility ran out right at the right time. Okay. Finishing with the 42, that's still pretty good, all things considered. You can actually get a 36 here. But I think without that beginning strat, you can get like a 53 or so. And sometimes the boss fight can go pretty terrible, so. Alright, you got Scrap Brain, which is personally my favorite zone of the game. It's like the end game style. You know, just heading into Robotnik space here. Now we got more cycles to catch. Gonna take this top route. Let's see if we can get 2, 3. We did bonk. We did not bonk, so we saved about 5 seconds there without having to wait for the platforms. Okay, just barely got past that flamethrower. So yeah, normally you would finish the stage in around 44, 45 seconds, but we got a 40 there since we took the top route. And those spinning platforms, you have like a frame or two to jump across them. So you do a technique called piano roll. So you push the A, B, and C buttons in like a piano motion. And that gives you like a better chance to get a frame jump, right? Oh, you get a jump on the frame that you land. That's what I meant to say. So it gives you like a better opportunity to pretty much get a higher jump height as well. So Scrap Brain 2 is a little tough, but especially with these, if you're like on a good cycle, you can actually bypass all of them fairly quickly. So we will end up getting hit by the buzzsaws that we will see coming up very soon. See if we can get this bounce here. Ah, we didn't. What I wanted to do there was to get a bounce off one of the ring monitors, so that way we don't have to wait around for these blocks to show up. Okay, we're gonna take a hit from this one. That's totally fine. Okay, then the swinging ball and chain, that's on a global cycle. Okay, yeah, we should be good through. Alright, so we're gonna have a mini cutscene here. We're gonna see Robotnik coming up. Okay, then right when we see him, we're just gonna go straight to the left here. Then jump to go down instantly. And now we're in Labyrinth 4, aka Scrap Brain 3. This is actually a really long level, but if you take this route, it is very short. I just wanna go up this way. Ah, didn't get the jump off of that. That's okay. I don't have any rings. Oh, now I do. Get a bounce off that burrow bot there. Gonna wait for these to go. Yeah, you can actually finish this a lot quicker than I did. Like around 20 or 21 seconds. Now we got Final Zone. So what we're going to do here, as we jump into Robotnik, we're going to let go of all inputs. That's going to put him at a set pattern. So like the top pistons are 1 and 3, the bottom pistons are 2 and 4. The order that I'm doing is 4, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 4, 3. So that's number 2. Now we're going to go all the way to the right to get 4. And by doing this, not missing a hit, you should be able to finish this in about 113 or 114 endgame time. Okay, that's hit number 5. Hit number 6 is going to be on the top left. There's actually a faster variant you can do where you do pause buffering. It does save about a second, but you have to do pause buffering. It's going to give you a completely different pattern. And I don't remember the other pattern very much since I haven't done it in a while. We've got one more hit coming up. Alright, and then time's going to be on fade out. Okay, then we're just going to jump here. And time. And that is Sonic 1. Yeah, a very solid run overall. Little bit of hiccups here and there, but I'm pretty happy with this. Pretty solid showing of this game, and I know a lot of people don't like to do glitches very much, and Sonic 1 is one of the tougher ones to do with glitches, so the glitches category is very, very good. I also made a tutorial for this game as well, so if anybody would like to learn it, you can definitely check that out. Of course, you can hit me up anytime, asking about any sort of strats for Glitchless. Be happy to help out. And yeah, without further ado, we're gonna switch over to Sonic 2. I'm not sure if we're gonna go into intermission for that or not. Or if I can just switch over since I'm on the same cartridge for it.
I'm just double checking to see what the plan is, but yeah, would seem sensible just to go straight onto Sonic 2 as you're already set up and ready to go. But I will just await the nod.
I've gone ahead and I've already transitioned over to the Sonic 2. If he just wants to change the cartridge, that's fine.
Will do.
There we go.
All right, so we'll just go straight into Sonic 2, just like that on the same cartridge.